The Los Angeles Chargers have been one of the more disappointing franchises over the last 3 to 4 years, but we're looking to change that here in the 2025 season on Madden 24. I've recreated everything that's happened since the beginning of the last regular season, forcing wins and losses for all 32 teams, making trades and signing free agents, as well as manually selecting prospects in the 2024 draft. What I've basically ended up with is Madden 25, but 6 months early. And I think one of the most interesting teams to rebuild as we head into 2025 is the Los Angeles Chargers. After seeming to land a bona fide superstar at quarterback with the 6th overall pick in 2020, it seemed as if the Chargers had found the final piece of the puzzle to make themselves a true contender. With the likes of Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Keenan Allen, and Austin Eckler, the roster was stacked from top to bottom with high-end veteran talent. But Derwin James couldn't stay healthy, Keenan Allen blew past 30, and the expiration date on running backs is never too far away. Even Justin Herbert, who set passing records in his rookie season, doesn't seem to have been able to take that next step and truly carry his team into the playoffs and beyond. Now, a roster that once seemed to be brimming with talent is bare bones. Mike Williams was cut and eventually signed with the Jets. Keenan Allen was shipped off to the Bears. Austin Eckler signed with the Commanders. And beyond the big three on defense, that side of the ball could easily be among the worst in the league. And it's not just players that have been shipped out either. Brandon Staley was finally relieved of his duties, and Jim Harbaugh is now the man tasked with unlocking the full potential of Justin Herbert and rebuilding a roster that, to put it mildly, is going through something of a transition. It's no secret that Harbaugh wants to run the ball, and fortunately he does have some help in that regard. The Chargers have invested heavily in the tackle position, following up the pick of Rashawn Slater in 2021 with the number 5 overall selection of Joe Alt in this year's draft. Zion Johnson is a more than capable starting guard, and these three should form the foundation of a strong power run game. We've added free agent Andrew Norwell as a band-aid at the left guard position, and Corey Linsley is a plus starter at center, but he's 33 years old, so we're going to have to look to round out the offensive line over the next season or two. After the departure of Austin Eckler, the additions of J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and 6th round pick Kamani Vidal should give us some versatility in the running back room, but it's at wide receiver that we're really going to struggle in year one. Quentin Johnson was pretty terrible as a rookie, and there's plenty of people that are already calling him a bust, whilst Josh Palmer really has never done much of anything. There will be plenty of options for both players to revive their careers, though, as 2nd round rookie Lad McConkey is the only other option we really have at the position. And we signed another free agent in Robert Tonyan, but tight end remains one of the worst position groups on the roster. Thankfully, it's a lot easier to improve those skill positions than it is to improve at quarterback, and we already have our franchise guy in Justin Herbert. Herbert is clearly a very high-end starting quarterback, and with the right situation around him, I see no reason he can't establish himself amongst the elite in the league. In particular, I see a lot of similarities between him and Josh Allen. Both have a cannon for an arm, both can play from within the pocket, and whilst Allen is a genuine dynamic threat with his legs, Herbert is far more athletic than he's given credit for, and I could see him being worked into the run game in moderation. And for that reason, I've created a custom playbook for this franchise mode, starting with the Bills playbook as a base, adding in some read option plays, as well as some additional gun and single back formations, and then throwing in some additional I-form and strong I formations for that power run game that Harbaugh is going to bring as well. On defense, we have a handful of foundational pieces, but the support and cast around them is severely lacking. At 29 years old, Joey Bosa is likely past his prime, but he should have a handful of productive years left in him. Asante Samuel Jr. is one of the better young cornerbacks in the league, and when he's on the field, Derwin James is one of the most dynamic, versatile playmakers a defense could have. So these guys will be fixtures of the defense for years to come, but we do need to do some serious work to fill in the gaps around them. Sebastian Joseph Day and Poona Ford is a competent, if fairly underwhelming, defensive tackle duo. Behind Asante Samuel, Christian Fulton, and rookie Cam Hart don't fill me with a great deal of confidence. We've added free agent linebacker Miles Jack to the mix, but it's going to be another rookie Junior Colson who we look to at that particular position, and our safety depth behind Derwin James is atrocious, to say the least. I'm looking to play a 4-3-quarter scheme this season with a lot of big nickel. So safety is a position we're going to have to invest in heavily if we're going to make that work. Unfortunately, we might have to do that via free agency because this draft class doesn't look to be particularly strong at the safety position. It does, however, look to be pretty stacked at defensive end, which is another position that we will need to invest in, as well as at the tackle spots. We don't need a tackle because we do have 2 bookends already, but we can always take a tackle and kick them inside to guard. So with all that being said, I think we are just about ready to jump into our opening game of the season. Baltimore are, of course, the team where our new offensive coordinator Greg Roman spent several seasons coaching, so we'll see if he has any tips or secrets to share with the defense. But without further ado, let's head up to the booth and start calling the plays in this one. So SoFi Stadium will be the venue here in week 1 of the 2025 season. Feels like the 2025 season is so far away, but it also feels like we're already so far removed from the draft. We are only, what, 4 days removed as I record this? But it already feels like an age ago. But the regular season feels so much further away. Hopefully, this series will be something that can tide you over between now and the start of the regular season as Justin Herbert leads his team out at SoFi Stadium. And one thing I neglected to mention before the game is it is going to be brother versus brother today. John versus Jim. As the Harbaugh line up on opposite sidelines. Some decent new additions to our roster, including J.K. Dobbins, who of course also faces his former club. Well, I say also. Jim Harbaugh obviously wasn't head coach of the Ravens, that's his brother, but J.K. Dobbins facing his former club as the kick is off through the back of the end zone, and Lamar Jackson will lead the Ravens out to begin week 1 of the 2025 season. Lamar, obviously a big focus of ours in the game here today. Going to be looking to shut him down early and often, and that's exactly what we have failed to do there. And Lamar Jackson is already away. He is going to be caught, but not before a huge gain of 55 yards on the opening play. We had him in the backfield, but he's just too quick. He's just too elusive. We had him there with Henley, and Lamar gets to the edge and tracked down eventually, but not before he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. I thought we played that decently well. We played the middle of the field, forced Lamar out wide, and Joey Bosa gets in for the sack. That's more like it. We're going to need to rely heavily on Joey Bosa this season. Khalil Mack on the opposite side as well, but he's well into his 30s at this point. Production likely to start slowing down now, if it hasn't been already. So it's going to be a 2nd and 20 here. Just outside the red zone. Lamar does hand it off this time, and it's a big tackle. Again by the safety. It's Woods. He was the one that brought down Lamar a couple of plays ago. And we'll see if we can hold the Ravens to a field goal here on 3rd and 17. It's just a draw play, which Miles Jack is all over. Just waiting for the running back in the hole. Justice Hill runs straight towards him. And it's going to be 4th and 13, and the Ravens will kick. So just a 3-0 lead for the Ravens early. It could have been much worse. Lamar Jackson ripping off a big game, but we did make a stand just outside the red zone, and Justin Herbert will lead the Chargers out now to begin our first drive of the season. It's going to be the rookie Ladd McConkey in the slot today, so we'll be looking to get him open early and often underneath, and that's a big completion to Robert Tonyan under pressure to begin the drive for Herbert. Just a 3-yard gain there. We'll run the ball here on 2nd down. And that's a great block climbing up to the 2nd level by Andrew Norwell. Did really well to double team his man at the line of scrimmage, and then climbed up just in time to lead the way for J.K. Dobbins. And that's a 1st down. And we'll go back to the run here on 1st and 10. Already approaching midfield. And again, the block set up nicely. The fullback, Corva, and Robert Tonyan leading the way out front this time. And it's going to be a 2nd and 1. A good chance to try a play action shot here, I think. And that's exactly what we will do here on 2nd and 1. We don't have the tight end. We may have Quentin Johnson. He's going to have to go up and get it, and that's exactly what he does. And that is exactly what we need to see from Quentin Johnson this season. Wins off the line of scrimmage. Gets in front of his man. And once he's stacked his cornerback, he is never getting back in the play. Quentin Johnson is too big, too strong. And really, the cornerback was nowhere near the ball in the air. All he could do was throw a shoulder into Quentin Johnson as he came down with it and tried to knock the ball out. That completely failed. And it is going to be a touchdown on our opening drive of the season to make it 7-3 Chargers here at SoFi. Really good start to the game. That's exactly how we need to play things on offense, I think. Work underneath, run the ball. It's another run from the Ravens early, but that's another big tackle from the safety stepping up. We work the ball underneath, and then we wait for our opportunities to rip a big play downfield. And I think Quentin Johnston is going to be the target in the vast majority of situations in which we do that. Oh, and it's a nice completion underneath to the running back. Lamar Jackson's first pass of the game, and it's complete for 8 yards. Going to be wary of read option on first down, I think. It's not read option. And it is another completion. Back-to-back completions for Lamar Jackson to start the game. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 here for the Ravens from midfield. And it's another completion underneath to the running back. This time Miles Jack can't wrap up, and Justice Hill squeezes by him for another decent gain for the Ravens. Both teams moving the ball here early. As the Ravens... Lamar Jackson can't find anywhere to go with it, and Derwin James is in for the sack. I'm not sure who else met Derwin James in the backfield there. I think potentially it was Joey Bosa. And again, we've managed to force the Ravens back here. It's going to be a 2nd and 17. And again, we're going to have to watch the read option. Oh, and that's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Woods, the safety, who's come up and made a handful of big tackles already today, was the last line of defense there against Justice Hill. And he couldn't make the tackle. Just triggering downfield too aggressively. And Justice Hill just breezed by him. And pending the extra point, it's going to be 10-7 Ravens here early at SoFi. So both teams moving the ball here early. And tackling looks as though it's going to be a primary focus for us going forward. We pick up 5 on first down though, so it's going to be a 2nd and 5, and we'll run the ball again with J.K. Dobbins. Just 2 yards, and we'll just try and pick up another first down here on 3rd and 3, and that's exactly what we managed to do. And J.K. Dobbins manages to find a little more, squeezing through a narrow gap at the line of scrimmage, and then putting the moves on the linebackers at the second level. And we've already seen Lamar Jackson keep it on a read option today. Let's see what Justin Herbert can do with the ball in his hands. Just picks up 3 and then slides. We are going to be working Justin Herbert into the run game every once in a while this season. We obviously don't want to put him in harm's way too often, but we do want to take advantage of his underrated athleticism. And that's a decent enough check down to the running back on 2nd, but it's broken up. So 3rd and 7 with the clock ticking down. And we've got Quentin Johnston over the middle, and he drops it. Justin Herbert put it on the money, just over the head of the linebacker, just in front of the cornerback. And Johnston can't come down with it. We saw a great play from him on the first drive to score the touchdown. But that's more of what we've seen from Quentin Johnston so far in his young career. Could well be blocked here. It's not. We do get the punt away. It's going to be caught right by the sideline, and a big hit. But the Ravens returner holds on to it. And we're going to give Lamar Jackson the ball back, having failed to put points on the board. Not something I want to be saying too often today. Lamar Jackson changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And just dumps it out to Mark Andrews in the flat. That's the first down. It seems like a generous spot, but he would have been very close if he was short. Be another first down for the Ravens here early in this game. And again, Lamar Jackson will throw. And that's an errant pass this time. His first incompletion of the game. Brought the rookie Junior Colson into the game for the first time. It has been Miles Jack and Diane Henley at running back so far, but Junior Colson comes in for his first snaps of his rookie season. I'm going to try and hold the Ravens here on 3rd and 2. It's going to be another pass by Lamar Jackson, who is on Mark Andrews. It's acting as if I run committed there. I assure you I did not. Or maybe I did by accident. Oh, I just meant to play underneath, and I think I run committed by accident. Oh, no. We were in man coverage there. And I wanted our defensive backs just to press the Ravens at the line of scrimmage. But I think I committed to the run instead. What an idiot. What an idiot. It's 17-7 at the end of the first quarter. Very high scoring game so far. And that one's all on me. So back out for the second quarter here after a 6-yard gain on first down by J.K. Dobbins. And he almost manages to convert the first there. It's going to be 3rd and inches. And Gus Edwards will come in to try and pick it up. And pick it up, I think he just about does. It's a single yard, but that is all we needed. And we'll likely get the rookie Kamani Vidal involved at some point today as well. Oh, he's trying to hit Robert Tonyan underneath. I didn't realize the pressure was getting in so quickly. So behind schedule here on 2nd and 10. We'll just run a screen with J.K. Dobbins out to this right-hand side. And he picks up 7 of the 10 yards that we need. It's going to be a 3rd and 3. And this could well be our first opportunity to get Lad McConkey involved. He's going to have to beat one man to get to the line of scrimmage. And he fails even to bring in the Justin Herbert pass. And it's going to be a 4th and 3. We're going to have to punt. And it wasn't the best play call on 3rd and 3, to be fair. The Ravens are pressing us at the line of scrimmage. As play action by Lamar Jackson. Henley in for the sack. Lamar Jackson spins away, but it's Joey Bosa on cleanup duty. Already responsible for 2.5 sacks here in the game. That may well have put him in the zone. And indeed it has. Joey Bosa is in the zone, so hopefully it's going to be even easier to get to the quarterback now. As Patrick Ricard motions out to this left side, but doesn't open up a big enough hole for Justice Hill. Just a 2-yard gain. It's going to be a 3rd and 8, and we've got an opportunity to get the Ravens off the field here. Let's not make the same mistake that we did last time. We've definitely gone underneath this time, and Joey Bosa's in again, causing havoc in the backfield, forces an under pressure throw from Lamar Jackson. It's off target, looking for Zay Flowers. And it's going to be the Ravens' turn to punt. That's the best defensive series we've seen so far. And it was all thanks, really, to Joey Bosa. It was his sack that put the Ravens behind schedule. And it was his pressure that forced the errant throw from Lamar Jackson. Justin Herbert and the Chargers will get the ball back in the second quarter here with a chance to make it a field goal game. So let's get this drive started off right. That's exactly what we do. We do manage to hit Lad McConkey underneath. And it's a gain of 9 for his first completion in the NFL. I'm going to try a little bit of trickery here on 2nd and 1. Josh Palmer, the only Charger who hasn't yet received a pass. And we are extremely lucky that that one wasn't picked off. It was a pass that never should have been thrown, really, but we've got just a yard to pick up here on 3rd down. And Justin Herbert just about manages to do that. Get down. That's exactly what we don't want to do. I said earlier we're going to try and protect Justin Herbert, use him in moderation. He bounced off a couple of Ravens players there, but he did pick up the first down. And we're going to go back to the run here on 1st and 10. Ravens in the backfield, but couldn't find the ball carrier, J.K. Dobbins. And Dobbins continues to have a good afternoon. 7 for 53 here early in the game. Corey Linsley is going to be out for not just the game, but for several weeks, I would imagine, with an abdominal tear. So Mark Lewinsky is going to come in and play center for us. He's another free agent addition. And I was planning probably to trade Corey Linsley at the deadline this season. I'm not so sure that's going to be an option now. And Roquan Smith is all over that one. It's our first real unsuccessful run of the game. It's the first tackle for loss for the Ravens for sure. And that has put Roquan Smith in the zone. So we're going to have to be very careful as we run in his direction. Robert Tonyan brings in the shallow crosser though and converts for a first down. Approaching the Ravens red zone here I'm going to take a shot here on first down, and it looks like we may well have it. J.K. Dobbins into the end zone and brings it in. What a play. As soon as I saw that safety moving down towards the middle of the field, I knew we were going to have at least a chance to convert on the left-hand side of the field there. J.K. Dobbins on the wheel route out of the backfield, and he does get the step on his man. And I wasn't sure whether Herbert had just laid it out too far in front of Dobbins, but the former Raven does score against his old club in the opening game of the season, and pending the extra point, it's going to be a field goal game. 17-14 Ravens at SoFi. So Joey Bosa still in the zone. So hopefully we're going to see him eat as much as possible here in the second half. He doesn't manage to bring Lamar Jackson down at the first attempt on that occasion, but does work his way back to make the tackle after just a 3-yard gain. So it's going to be 2nd and 7 here for the Ravens. Again, it's play action, and again, it's complete underneath. This time to Zay Flowers. Junior Colson, the rookie, on the tackle. And it's going to be another first down for the Ravens here. Really struggled to prevent them from moving the ball. What we haven't struggled to do is sack Lamar Jackson, and Henley gets in for one this time. There's 4 sacks in the game already. And I didn't really think that our defense would be too fearsome here in Season 1. There's a lot of holes that we need to fill on the defense. But pass rush is one thing that we do have. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and we can send the occasional blitz. And that's exactly what we've done there. And it's paid off. And then some. Mark Andrews in the slot here, though, and we're going to have to be responsible for him. And it is just a check down underneath for just a 4-yard gain. It's going to be a 3rd and 16 here. And this is a really good opportunity to force the Ravens off the field once more. And it's an interception by Miles Jack. Lamar Jackson threw it straight to him. And we did force the Ravens not only to give the ball up, but to give the ball straight to our new addition at linebacker in Miles Jack. We dropped 8 into coverage there. And we were going to force Lamar Jackson to pick up all 16 yards through the air. And instead, he got a little bit angsty back in the pocket, and he threw it straight to us. So we're going to have great field position here after the 2-minute warning. The clock will continue to tick, and we are just about in the Ravens' red zone. So we're looking to score a touchdown here, obviously, but we're also looking to avoid giving the Ravens back the ball at any point. Kamani Vidal comes in for his first carries of the game, and it's a good one to begin his NFL season, the rookie. A 9-yard gain, and he'll get the ball back. Again here is Andrew Norwell, again leads the way out front, and Kamani Vidal has dived, and he's into the end zone. So we achieved one of those 2 objectives that we set at the start of the drive. We have scored the touchdown. We are, however, going to give the Ravens back the ball. I didn't anticipate scoring on that particular play, but Kamani Vidal has found the end zone, and with just 2 carries to his name, he already has his first NFL touchdown. So Joey Bosa, unfortunately, no longer in the zone, and we are just going to try and do exactly that in what's left of the first quarter, the first half here, rather. We'll try and force completions underneath for Lamar Jackson. I'm not even too worried about getting into the backfield, or rather just contain Lamar Jackson. And again, it's another check down to Mark Andrews. Miles Jack there on the tackle. And the Ravens are going to run hurry up here. And it's another completion underneath. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. 27 seconds left on the clock. And the Ravens are going to take their second time out. So just 1 remaining for the Ravens. And I don't like this. And I'm not sure who I'm on. Thankfully, the throw from Lamar Jackson is way off target So after another incompletion for the Ravens, it's going to be a 3rd and 10 with 19 seconds left on the clock from midfield. And Lamar Jackson again is forced from the pocket. And Derwin James is there to smother Justice Hill after the completion. It's going to be 4th and 6. And I think the Ravens are just going to let the clock tick away. They're not. They're going to take a timeout on their own 44-yard line. And they are. The Ravens are going to try a Hail Mary to end the quarter. We will, of course, just go man up 3 deep. And it is a completion underneath to Mark Andrews. And we're going to have to be careful here. So a big completion to Mark Andrews underneath as all of our defensive backs obviously bailed out. But fortunately, we do rally to the ball and make the tackle. And it's going to be 21-17 at the half. A high-scoring game so far. Both sides moving the ball. Both sides already over 100 yards rushing in the game. So we'll look to put the clamps on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in the second half. And we will get the ball to start the second half here. Again, Robert Tonyan, the target underneath. But we've thrown the ball on the first play of the second half. Straight to the Ravens, and they're already at the 2. What a poor decision by Justin Herbert. That's a disastrous way to begin the second half. Absolutely disastrous. We've hit Robert Tonyan on those shallow crosses once or twice already today, but that one was into double coverage. The cornerback just sitting in the flat, just waiting for that. Obviously something the Ravens and the defensive coordinator looked at half-time. And so we're going to be fortunate here if we don't give up a touchdown to begin the second half. And it's a shovel pitch to Justice Hill. Junior Colson was there ready to lay the wood on Lamar Jackson. And to be fair, he did exactly that. But Lamar Jackson sacrificed himself, pitching the ball out to Justice Hill. And he had an easy walk-in touchdown. Junior Colson absolutely laying Lamar Jackson out. But 2 plays into the third quarter, 1 for each team. And suddenly it's a field goal game again in favor of the Ravens. And Joey Bosa has gone down with an injury now on the kick block unit. No. We're going to have to see what that injury is. But if he's out for the remainder of the game, I think we're going to struggle to win this one. Carried the team on his back in that first half. And we were fortunate to just allow 17 points to the Ravens. And a lot of that was thanks to Joey Bosa. So we're going to have to put that out of our minds for now, as we have an offensive drive to be getting on with. And J.K. Dobbins has got it off to a rip-roaring start. He's 11 for 90 on the ground now. And Joey Bosa has dislocated his hip. He will be out for the remainder of the game. I'm not 100% sure that will keep him out for too long beyond that, though. And after a 2-yard loss on first down, it's going to be 2nd and 12 here. Again, we hit the underneath crosser, which is Josh Palmer on this occasion. I believe his first completion of the game. And we'll just try and pick up the first down here on 3rd and 1. And again, Gus Edwards manages to do that and picks up a few extra this time. And we're going to see what we can do on play action here on 1st and 10. And Robert Tonyan got bumped. Justin Herbert lays the ball out ahead of Robert Tonyan, but he gets bumped on the route, and he was never going to be catching up to that. So we'll just see what we can get here on 2nd and 10. Yeah, it's going to be the read option with Justin Herbert. But Marlon Humphrey and company were there to meet him. And it's just a single-yard gain, a 3rd and 9 here. Probably 4-down territory, to be honest. So we'll try and pick up at least 4 or 5 of these. And I think we're going to manage to do that. We're going to manage to pick up them all. Here's Robert Tonyan. The Ravens blitzed off that left-hand side on their right. And that left the space in the flat for Robert Tonyan to find. And Justin Herbert gets absolutely clocked as a result, but he stands strong in the pocket, finds Robert Tonyan underneath. And it's going to be a first down. We're forced to take a time out there. The play clock ticking down. Couldn't decide what to run. We are going to run Lad McConkey on a little jet touch, though, out to this right-hand side. Good block by, I believe, Gus Edwards. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 here, approaching the Chargers' red zone. And Robert Tonyan is going to be wide open here, and the cornerback just about gets back in the play and knocks it away. I thought we had Tonyan. Just needed to lead it out a little further in front there, and we would have had a touchdown. We'll try and find Kamani Vidal on 3rd and 10 here on the little halfback screen out to the flat on the left-hand side. But he's just held up. Read really well by Williams. And it's a 2-yard loss, and it's going to be 4th and 12, and we'll just kick the field goal to tie things up. I'm not sure where Derrick Henry is today. We've not seen him run the ball at all yet. It's been all Justice Hill. Potentially an injury for Derrick Henry. This formation looks horrible from the Ravens. 2 running backs, 3 tight ends. And it's Junior Colson in with the sack. The rookie gets his first sack of his NFL career in his first NFL game. I'm not sure what the Ravens were trying there. Looks as though they ran mesh spot, but we played it perfectly. And we get in for what I believe is our 5th sack of the game on Lamar Jackson. And that's also going to go down as a sack. I thought potentially it would just be a standard tackle. But I guess he was behind the line of scrimmage. I guess he was still considered a passer rather than a runner. Although it did look like Lamar was taken off to scramble. But Sebastian Joseph Day gets his name on the list of players to have sacked Lamar Jackson today. 6 now, I believe, on the game. And we do get the ball back around midfield with 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd, and it's all tied up. And we'll just run the ball here on 1st down. Andrew Norwell again climbing to the 2nd level well, but can only do enough to allow J.K. Dobbins to pick up 3. And we'll try another screen here on 2nd and 7. Again, J.K. Dobbins manages to leak out, but it's a really good tackle by Kyle Hamilton. Breaking down from his safety position. 3rd and 1 though. And I was planning to run play action, but this look is just too inviting to run on. And Gus Edwards rumbles forward, finds some contact. And it's a big gain on the ground to pick up another 1st. And Edwards will come off the field to be replaced by Kamani Vidal. And he forces his way through for a couple. And this is usually a play that I like to run in the red zone, but we're going to try it here on 2nd down. And it's a really bad throw from Herbert. Behind the running back, bizarrely. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Ravens played that fairly well, to be fair. And we're going to run the ball on 3rd and 7 here. Not because I want to be conservative, but rather because I want to be aggressive. Because in this kind of situation, 4th and 3 on the 29, I had already made the decision that we would go for it. And we don't actually manage to get the playoff in time. So we are going to have to kick a field goal after all. 51-yarder. Does have the leg, and it's straight down the middle, and it's going to be a field goal lead once more. This time for the Chargers, the lead going back and forth here in this one, and it's going to be 27-24, a real opportunity to extend our lead even further there. But for the 2nd time today, we couldn't get the play in time, and it's a delay of game as a result. But to be fair, we may not have even picked up the 1st down. So I guess a 3-point lead guaranteed is better than the risk of not coming away with the lead at all. 1st and 10 for the Ravens then as they start their final drive of the 3rd quarter. And it's a run for no gain on 1st down. Still very much wary of Lamar Jackson. He's been handing the ball off far more frequently. It's been play action fairly often in the 2nd half here for the Ravens. But I'm still very wary of that read option. And it's a check down underneath where Henley and Jack are there to meet the ball carrier. It's going to be a 3rd and 1 as the 3rd quarter elapses. And we head into the 4th. So this could be a play that goes some way to decide in the game. A 3rd and 1 here to start the 4th quarter, and it is going to be advantage Ravens. Justice Hill rumbles forward, converts for the 1st down. Khalil Mack there for his 1st tackle of the game. He's been pretty much anonymous today, to be honest. And the Ravens approaching midfield. There's Lamar Jackson again on the play action. Mark Andrews is the man who receives the ball underneath. Doesn't pick up a first down, though. He's gone 7 for 124 today, Mark Andrews. And I was trying to think when he even had a big reception of any kind, but he did, of course, have that big reception on the Hail Mary. Caught the ball underneath and had several yards after the catch. I'm going to bring Junior Colson back out on the field. We're going to send him at Lamar Jackson. Gets it out far too quickly for that to make any kind of an impact, though. 2nd and 8. And the Ravens again run the ball. Justice Hill puts a nice move on Miles Jack and cuts back inside. That was a vicious juke. We do manage to corral him at the line of scrimmage, though. And he picks up only a handful to make it a 3rd and 2. Mark Jackson under center for this one. And it's a run left. And we burst through the line of scrimmage there. But Justice Hill had already gone some way to finding the edge. And he does convert for a first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Ravens on our 33-yard line. Mark Jackson in the gun. Again, play action. And again, it's a sack. And this time it's a fumble. And the Chargers dive on it. And Lamar Jackson gives up the ball for a second time today. The first time it was an interception thrown directly to Miles Jack. This time it was Tuipulotu coming onto the field for his first snaps of the game. He wins off the edge and it's a strip sack. And Morgan Fox is the man who dives on it. And that could be a hugely significant play in the game. That could well be a turning point, because with only 8.5 minutes left in the game, the Ravens have coughed up the ball for a second time today, and that will gift us the ball back with a chance to hopefully put some more points on the board. Look at Lad McConkey go. Grabs the reception on the shallow cross underneath, spins off one tackler, bounces off another, and that's a big gain on first down. So very much looking just to while as much time off the clock as we can. And again we go with Justin Herbert. No! No, 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 no. This is exactly why we need to do it in moderation. Justin Herbert goes down injured. And this game just keeps going back and forth. Every time one team gets the advantage, it flips back to the other, and it's going to be Mark Duggan. I don't even know what the guy's name is. But he's going to be the guy tasked with seeing out the remainder of this game. We are obviously not really going to be putting the ball in his hands. And we are going to be very much behind the sticks on 3rd and 10. It's going to be a 3rd and 12, rather. And Duggan lobs one up, and it's batted away and almost caught on the second attempt by, I think, Josh Palmer. But it is going to be a 4th and 12, and we're going to have to punt. Justin Herbert's pulled his hamstring, so he will return soon, but the re-injury risk is high. I think we have to put him back in the game, and we just have to try and utilize him as little as possible. This game has already scared me off using Justin Herbert in the run. I wanted to mix it in, 4 or 5 times a game, and I think that's roughly the amount that we've done so today, but I think we need to scale that back, particularly early in the season, because already we've seen how dangerous that can be. So potentially just once or twice a game, and maybe not even at all in the regular season, at least early in the season. Lamar Jackson is out, and Junior, it's another fumble, and I'm not surprised because Miles Jack absolutely blew Lamar Jackson up. And Asante Samuel dives on it this time. That was an absolutely thunderous hit from Miles Jack. Oh, and was Lamar Jackson down? Oh, that's so close. I'm not sure if his back and shoulders were what forced the ball free there. I'm sure they'll review it, and we'll find out shortly. At the moment, Duggan is coming back out ahead of Herbert. And the turnover does stand. The ball must have been coming out just before Lamar Jackson hit the ground. And it is Justin Herbert under center. And the Ravens absolutely flood the backfield there. Just a single yard. The pickup for J.K. Dobbins. And Roquan Smith is again in the zone here. And Quentin Johnson with a big reception. I was worried I'd thrown my second interception of the game there. But Quentin Johnson is the man who comes down with it. And there's very little point kicking a field goal here. So we're just going to go with a draw play on 3rd and 3. And we're going to be inches away. I think we have to go for this. Kicking the field goal would obviously mean that the Ravens can't tie the game up. But it would mean that a touchdown would give them the lead. And it's only inches. I think I am going to go for this. And I think the quarterback sneak is out of the question with Justin Herbert's injury. So we're going to go with a fullback dive. Xander Horvath. And I don't think he gets there. I don't think he gets there. It's a 1st and 10. The clock has stopped. It's going to be another turnover. This time on downs. And we are indeed on defense. So we don't manage to pick it up on 4th and inches. And this game just continues to go back and forth. Almost feels as if neither team wants to win the game. Junior Colson with another big tackle for loss this time. A 3-yard loss. Junior Colson has been excellent today. He's sacked Lamar Jackson. He's tackled him in the backfield, I believe, twice now. I'm going to send a little bit of heat to Lamar Jackson this time. Derwin James on the blitz off that right-hand side. And Justice Hill is the man who receives the ball, but Poona Ford is there to bring him down. And it's another tackle for loss. It's going to be 3rd and 15 for the Ravens. You would have thought they'd be a little bit more aggressive here, as they are down in the game. But it's going to be 3rd and 15. We're going to come out in dollar, and we are just going to pass commit and ensure that we don't give up anything underneath. And that's exactly what we managed to do. Derwin James in the area to force the incompletion. And on 4th and 14, the Ravens are going to punt. And there's just going to be a little more than 3 minutes left on the clock once Justin Herbert comes out for what we are going to hope is going to be the final drive of the game. And we almost managed to wriggle away with Davis. So 3 minutes and 11 seconds for Justin Herbert. I'm not sure why Duggan is coming out again. It's going to be Herbert. 3 minutes 11 for Justin Herbert to while away here. And we are going to run the ball, but we can't afford to get too conservative. Didn't realise I had Gus Edwards in the game. I probably would have gone with something other than a stretch if I realised. We obviously do want to run the ball, but we do also need to pick up first downs. And we should be able to get one here with Lan McConkey, and there could be more. And I think it's Marlon Humphrey eventually manages to disengage from Quentin Johnston and make the tackle. But that will bring up the second... No. But that will bring up the 2-minute warning. And Kamani Vidal will get the first carry after the 2-minute warning, and he rumbles forward for about 12 yards and already forces the Ravens to take a timeout. And if we can grab just another first down, which J.K. Dobbins might have already here, and he has picked up back-to-back first downs. Kamani Vidal and then J.K. Dobbins, and one more first down would certainly secure it. J.K. Dobbins with another carry. Picks up 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3. And we can't kneel the ball away just yet, but with another first down, we certainly will be able to. It's going to be 3rd and inches with about a minute left on the clock when we next snap the ball. So first down here wins the game. Gus Edwards forces his way through. That's why we have Gus Edwards on the roster. Quentin Johnston goes down with an injury now, though. He's frustrated on the sideline. He hasn't done too much beyond that initial touchdown. But that initial touchdown is currently the difference between the sides. It would be 24-20 to the Ravens if it weren't for that touchdown. And we can just kneel away the game. It's just a hit pointer. He will be able to return. We'll just substitute him. And he should be available again in the next game, as should Justin Herbert. Corey Linsley likely a different story, though. And we will kneel it for the final time here today. And we will run out victors over the Ravens in week 1 of the 2025 NFL season at SoFi Stadium. It's a surprise victory. I anticipated a loss to the Ravens here, but Jim succeeds over John. Brother against brother. And Justin Herbert succeeds over Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson with an MVP to his name. Justin Herbert, hopefully with an MVP to his name after this one. Does Lamar have 2? I think maybe Lamar has 2, actually. So it's a big start to the game for the Ravens. They put up 17 in the first quarter, but we held them to just 7 points after that. 305 yards in total for the Ravens, 144 of those coming on the ground, 161 through the air. We put up 368 with 190 yards rushing on the ground, so we easily hit the 150 that we needed for our pre-game goal. Justin Herbert had a decent enough game, certainly not the start to an MVP type season. 15 for 24 for 171, 2 touchdowns, and that interception, a really poor decision. 20 for 119 for J.K. Dobbins, averaging 5.9 on the ground. A touchdown for Kamani Vidal in his first NFL game. 8.7 yards on the ground for him. Gus Edwards averaged 5.8 on 5 carries. Justin Herbert averaged just 1.1 yards per carry on 6 attempts. So we're definitely going to have to scale back on that going forward. Lad McConkey brought in 4 receptions, just 37 yards though. 3 for 27 for Tunyon, 3 for 41 for Dobbins. Quentin Johnston, I think we're going to see stat lines a lot like this going forward. 29.5 yards per reception, one of which was a touchdown. He goes 2 for 59 on the game, and just a single reception for Josh Palmer. We had a great game defensively. Joey Bosa with 3 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. And Junior Colson had a big game as a rookie as well. 2 tackles for loss. He got a sack. Tui Pelotu got in for a sack, as did Sebastian Joseph Day and Dayan Henley. Derwin James in for half a sack as well. Miles Jack came up with the interception, and we had a couple of forced fumbles, one from Tui Pelotu on that strip sack, one from Miles Jack as well. So 2 turnovers forced by Miles Jack today. So a huge victory in week 1, and we did get those 150 yards on the ground, so we should be getting some XP here, and we do. 4,500 XP for all offensive linemen and 10 staff points. Those will go a long way because we do have one last focus player to unlock. 2 injuries to big players though. Joey Bosa is going to be out for 4 weeks. He had a massive game against the Ravens. He's going to be a massive loss over the first month or so of the season. And Corey Linsley's abdominal tear, I thought that he would be out for longer, but he's just out for 2 weeks. I thought these would be reversed, if anything. Corey Linsley out for 4 or 5 weeks, and Joey Bosa just out for 1 or 2. But we should have Corey Linsley back ahead of the deadline if we do want to trade him at the very least. So we officially move to 1-0 on the season. Unfortunately, so do the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Broncos, the only team in the AFC West to have lost their opening game of the season, and it will be Gardner Minshew and the Raiders that we take on in week 2. A big divisional matchup and an opportunity to establish ourselves as surprise contenders here early in the 2025 season. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.